university budgets are being smashed. We've heard a lot from the government speakers throughout the debate about their job-ready graduate program. Three-word slogan. Well, this job-ready graduate program will see real funding for higher education fall by 10% over the next 3 years. That's what Senate estimates was told. That's what the budget papers show. Real funding under the government's program for universities will fall by 10% over the next 3 years. Student debts are rising. We've got tens of thousands of Australian students now facing fee hikes. Again, the answers they finally gave to the last round of Senate estimates admitted the truth. What they'd said when they introduced the bill was that, oh well, fees might rise for students by 7% over 3 years. The truth is, on the government's own figures, fees for university students will rise by 16% over 3 years under their so-called reform program. Now is the very worst time to be whacking universities with higher fees. They've already faced losses of $3 billion just in the last period because of international students and the borders being closed. The economy's lost $9 billion from international education already, with more to come. But the government's not helping universities. They've implemented this real cut to their funding and more charges. It's like the minister over there is a little bit jealous of the member for Hume. The member for Hume's got a big stick. I'll get out my slightly smaller stick and whack the sector. We've seen from the government 17,000 jobs have been lost already, and that's just the jobs that show up in organisation charts that you can put a position next to. It's not the other thousands and thousands of casuals, sessional teachers, casual researchers and other support staff. 17,000 jobs lost because the government refused to extend JobKeeper. In fact, they changed the rules 3 times to make sure that public universities in this country were one of the few sectors not eligible for JobKeeper. Teachers, researchers, cleaners, support staff, administration staff, people with families, just like all other Australians, except they happen to work for a public university, and the government was out to get universities. Now, the most immediate impact, of course, of the international student loss of revenue has been on research. We've had a weird funding model for too long in this country, where universities make a profit off teaching students to fund research. Now, the government, I think 3 years ago, they cut $2.2 billion, another little sneaky cut in the mid-year financial update, another $2.2 billion the Prime Minister hacked out of universities, and at that time he and the Treasurer said, well, don't whinge, go and recruit more international students. Well, they did that, and now the government's saying, well, you're a bit dependent on international students, aren't you? The practical impact of this is that our research budgets across the nation have been slashed. We hear the government say, oh, we gave them $1 billion. We didn't actually give them $1 billion. What the government did was bring forward money that they were going to give them in later years, and now they're cutting that money. So at the very worst time, we've got the government cutting university funding, effectively cutting research funding because they've already brought it forward in a national emergency, when we need research to contribute to the economic recovery, seeing international education fall over, our 4th biggest